discussion today, I will briefly tell you about our organization. EarthMates is a group of people who are passionate about environmental sciences and try to protect it for our future generations. So, in order to achieve this goal, it is very important to create awareness among the society. So, we have organized a webinar series, and this is the second session of the webinar. So today we will be talking about the plastic pollution in Sri Lanka and how to be part of the solution. I am Marsha Gunasinghe, a second year undergraduate at Ocean University of Sri Lanka, and I am a member at the EarthMates also. And I will be moderating today's session. And also joining of our discussion today is Dr. P.B. Terney Pradeep Kumara. He is a senior lecturer at the Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Science and Technology, University of Ruhuna. And he is the General Manager of Marine Environment Protection Authority. Doctor, we warmly welcome you to today's session. Before moving to the discussion today, I would like to inform you that there will be a Q&A session after the discussion. So you can unmute your microphone and ask the question directly, or you can put the question into the chat box. So, sir, this is your time, sir.
Thank you, Marsha, and welcome all to this session, especially on marine plastic pollution in Sri Lanka. But still, I got some slides regarding the present status of plastic industry in Sri Lanka. But I have some information about it, but I keep it that for the discussion session. Today my plan is to use about 30 minutes to 35 minutes or 40 minutes to give you some introduction plastic issue, and again how it that end up in marine environment, and what is the fate of this plastic, especially the marine environment. Here I mainly focusing on marine environment because it's my personal pet area. But we can discuss more about the plastics if you have any questions. But time that I had another lecture from 1 to 3:45 at Rajarata home. So after that, I just compiled this one within 1 hour time. Especially that's why I mainly focused on marine environment and what's the situation of in Sri Lanka and some examples from our environment. So let me share my screen with you. Hope you can see my screen now.
Yes, sir, we can.
Right, now I put into the full screen mode. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Super. So plastic pollution.
No, sir.
No?
No, sir. That's not in the presentation mode, sir.
Then I think it goes to this erase here. So you can see my next slide also, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nothing to do. So yes, I'll go like this, then I can easily cover it up, right? So
okay, sir.
I can't see that screen, but I see the full screen. But you will see the desktop mode. I don't know how to change it, but if I do it now, it will take some more time. Right? Without changing it, I'll go fast. And marine plastic pollution in Sri Lanka and current status is the topic. This is about marine environment. I think since you are most of you have a marine basic background. So ocean is the largest saline body, and it covers, it about 71% of the Earth's surface, and it contains about 97% of all water available in our planet. And again, out of the rest 3%, about 1%, 1.5 is about 1.5 stayed at polar region as frozen water or glaciers. So what we see here in our freshwater bodies is about amount of water that is less than 1% of the planet's water, and at the same time ocean contains about 95% of the biosphere. And again, still ocean environment is totally unaware for us. It means about 95% is known, and more than less about less than 5% is known to people because of the depth and the vast area. And again, as a human, our capacity, we can't dive to the deeper waters. Otherwise, you have to take a submarine or outer capsule to go to that areas. Therefore, the ocean area is so much unknown to us. And the beauty of the ocean is that ocean divides people and continents, staying in between continents, but at the same time, ocean connects people, shipping and naval sector, and again through tourism, and in underwater cables, and again transportation. So the ocean divides and ocean connects, and this is our ocean in around Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka is not only a landmass; it has a very huge ocean area around us. That is about 8 times larger than the country, and there's about 5 million square kilometers coming in Sri Lanka's jurisdiction. So this is our country. When you talk about Sri Lanka is the boundaries about from Sri Lanka's jurisdictional boundary extend from the shoreline about 370 kilometers towards the sea. So whole area we consider as our country. Therefore, when we think about Sri Lanka in the future, you have to take this picture, right? Not the picture you saw here. And this is the new area we expect to have in the future through United Nations. There are lots of arguments going, and still this case is being heard at UN. And we are trying to acquire this place. If we get this area in the future, you can see that in the dotted line. So it will be the whole ocean area will be about uh, 23 times larger than the land mass. And then Sri Lanka will be a huge country in that aspect. So why ocean is important, it's the largest carbon sink and a source of protein and source of energy, minerals and medicine. So media of transportation, the commodities or goods we are having, they are about more than 90% comes through ocean means. And also people tend to live closer to the oceans. Therefore, half of the world's population live within 100 meters of the coast, and supports employment, tourism, fisheries and research, oil exploration, gas exploration, and lots of underwater technologies and underwater cable laying. Lots of opportunities are there. At the same time, ocean regulate the climate. Climate. So all the monsoon patterns, rains and winds is governed by the ocean. Therefore, ocean regulate climate. At the same time, at the telecommunication industry, there are lots of about 90% of data to our phones. They receive through ocean cables. Therefore, ocean is very much important in that aspect also. This is how ocean. This is Sri Lanka. This is how Sri Lanka is located in the Indian Ocean, in the Indian Ocean basin, and the Indian Ocean basin, Indian subcontinent extending into the Indian Ocean basin, and at the end of Indian Ocean basin, you can see Sri Lanka is located. If there's no water in the Indian Ocean, this is how you can see our country, right? This is our country, and so all the ecosystems we talk about, the coral reefs or sea grasses, so pristine shoreline, so mangroves, estuaries, sand dunes, all located in this coastal belt. At the same time, you can see a very small strip around the coastal belt that is called continental shelf. So continental shelf is very narrow in down south to east and west, but in northeast and north area, the shelf is very wide, and then to that connected to the Indian subcontinent. So soon as you pass the continental edge, you find then all the deep canyons. So after canyons, we can see the real ocean flow. That from the top to the real ocean flow, that the depth is about 3,000 to 4,000 meters. Even just past Dolphin Head, the depth goes to about 3,500 meters or so deep waters around the country. So from surface wise, again, that the whole area belongs to Sri Lanka, and even on the depth wise, the whole the ocean bottom is our properties, right? Therefore, when you think about Sri Lanka, we have to consider that environment also. But at present, the issue is that the whole ocean is polluted, right? So this is definition of pollution, the term pollution describes the occurrence and inputs of waste and the impact of these waste on the environment. So occurrence of the waste and the impact of these waste is normally we consider as the pollution. Under UN definition, the pollution is defined as the introduction by man, directly or indirectly, of substances of energy or energy substances or energy. It means all plastic comes under pollutants, and again, energy means if you put a dynamite or blast something, some blast fishing kind of thing, so that also comes under pollution definition. So energy to the marine environment resulting in deleterious effects such as hazards to human health, hinders to marine activities, impairment of the quality of seawater for various uses, and reduction of amenities. So this is the definition, UN definition. Under that, you can understand that not only plastic, and again, even liquid waste, and again even some energy release through the ocean is also we can consider this as a pollution. That is why the thermal pollution comes to the picture, because if you release heated water or maybe cool water into the ocean, if that since that causes lots of harmful effect on environment, that we can define as a pollution, right? So why should we concern about pollution? So especially fecal pollution, these are the pollutants: fecal, visual pollution, and enrichment with nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus. Those actually those are from agriculture sector. Inorganic pollutants like heavy metals or agrochemicals or pharmaceuticals, so those pollutants are there. And again, oil pollution, thermal pollution, and sound and light pollution, I just mentioned about that. So out of these, the main pollution source is the visual pollution issue, mainly from plastic and polythene and other non-degrading substances. So if you think about the coastal pollution or marine pollution in Sri Lanka, about less than 10% are actually coming from ocean, means it means from tourism and fisheries sector or from other countries, but more than 90% comes from the land bases, so from rivers and canals and beaches and whatever. So whatever you throw or whatever you uh, release without properly handling will ultimately end up in our coastal waters, especially plastic, right? So these are the National Solid Waste Management Policy of Sri Lanka covers plastic waste as municipal solid waste, right? Packing waste, industrial waste, construction and demolition waste, electrical and electronic waste, we call them as e-waste, radioactive waste, marine waste, food agriculture waste, plastic contaminated with liquid gas and gases waste, and healthcare waste. So this is how we receive plastic to the ocean through all these means. And current status of plastic pollution per capita, plastic generation is about 0.5 per kilograms per person per day. It means each of us, right, contributing or adding at least half a kilogram of plastic to the environment. Uh, Therefore, you have to consider when you buy something. So when you are given a shopping bag, or when you shop, when you receive a bag with when you receive your commodities in bags, you have to think about that. And when you use cutleries, plastic cutleries, and when you use single-use plastics such as straws and others, you have to think about that, because all of us personally responsible for throwing up or dumping about half a kilogram of plastic to the environment daily. So waste generation in general in Sri Lanka is about 9,810 metric tons. Waste collection per day is about 3,700. So almost half, more than half, gone under without any collection method. Therefore, most of them are ultimately burnt or end up in dumping yards, or otherwise end up in the coastal belt. So open dumping sites we have in Sri Lanka for the moment about 300 350 in numbers. So those are very polluted areas, and causing lots of environmental impact, and again impact to animal life, and again impact to okay, at the end the impacting on the ocean, right? So disposal of plastic and polythene per day, 600,000 tons of plastic waste per day, out of which 180 tons are packaging materials, approximately 20 million lunch sheets, 15 million plastic shopping bags, and 100 tons of PET bottles per day is disposed in Sri Lanka. Half a million tons of plastic raw material imported by and that is the production, that is the importation. Right? Challenges in plastic waste in Sri Lanka, mainly lack of cooperation among stakeholders, no segregation, improper segregation of waste, hazard disposal of waste, attitudes, and protesting when establishing a sanitary landfills, waste management sites. You know, when the government is going to establish a landfilling or sanitary landfilling or whatever scientific landfilling, because of protesting, especially those are politically motivated. Therefore, it has been very difficult to find a place to establish those facilities. Lack of infrastructure, difficulty in getting lands, lack of resources, lack of technically qualified staff in institutions, weakness in waste collection mechanism for recycling, and issues of recyclers, lack of secure landfill for hazardous waste, and high cost. Those are the main challenges. And when think about marine plastic, out of this plastic, we produce about per year 32 million kilograms of plastics enter into the sea in Sri Lanka, right? Collection of plastic per week in all beaches is about 600,000 kilograms, but what is go into the deep ocean and ocean flow is totally unknown, and we don't have any data. And in 2019 data, we did some beach cleanup, and there we cleaned about 98 kilometers of beaches, and from that we collected about 36,000 kilograms of plastic, 160,000 plastic bottles, 31,000 shopping bags, and 15,000 pieces of plastic. So you can understand how um, how intense this plastic pollution is. So for this, to handle plastic, we have 24 municipal councils, 14 urban councils, 276 Pradesh Sabhas, and 200. And these local governments collecting about 1 to 10 tons of waste, while two of them collecting more than 150 tons. And there are 9 yards under the first phase of mechanical composting. There are composting yards established. So these are some examples how they end up in our waters, right? So with canals, even canal water itself is polluted with chemicals and others, and they bring oil. You can see oil uh, patches, so oil sheen on the top of this canal water, and they bring plastic. So this is how they end up in coastal waters. You can see plastic can various forms, and they are ultimately pushed back to the shore. But you must know that about 70% of these some plastics are sink to the bottom ocean floor, and only 30% coming back. So therefore, what is settling on the bottom is unknown for us. Amounts are very much unknown. Therefore, the research is needed, and so we have to arrange number of programs to retrieve them from this ocean flow and again bring back. But it's a very costly and really non-practical solution to retrieve them from the ocean flow once they are added. Therefore, we have to do everything to stop them adding to the sea. These are plastic and polythene, and this is Kudavella Harbor. The height of this plastic stack is about almost 1.5 to 2 meters. Even these are buried in the sea, the bottom part. And this is Gurunagar, this is Jaffna, this is Mena, and this is Nigambu, the touristic areas. And this is again Gurunagar. This is again fiberglass, again kind of plastic. The issue of fiberglass, especially from fishery sector, and various types of foams. We call them rigifoam. Rigifoam is a kind of a commercial name, but these are styrofoam. So this is another issue. And These are plastic, plastic bottle islands. This is from again one of the harbors in down south, floating as a small plastic island. This is another small plastic island from Minisa Harbor. So you can see the gravity of the plastic pollution, especially in coastal waters. So they come to the coastal waters because of the mismanagement of plastics in the land, and the land environment, and especially among our communities. So then, when the plastics are in the environment, they start, decomposing or decaying. When they decay, they break into microplastics. So microplastics is the plastic pieces that is less than 5 millimeter in size. So there are two kinds of microplastics. One is primary microplastic. In primary microplastic, we produce them purposefully and add them into some products. And secondary microplastics are the small plastic particles created when they decay with the time. So secondary microplastic, we don't have any option, but primary microplastic, definitely we have to stop it. These are primary microplastic from scrubbing cream. Scrubbing cream, when you use scrubbing cream, so you feel the hand feel the tiny, the solid particles you feel is microplastic particles. You can see microplastic, extracted microplastics. These are again microplastics made from sea sand. And primary microplastics are added into these different products like, facial cream, even toothpaste. So if you check the ingredient list, you can find them. I have marked them in red. The polythene labels are there. Right? And these are the major products they use primary microplastics in their uh, products. And these are the impacts. Microplastics is everywhere. They impact on the very basics of food webs and food chains. So they impact on food based webs and food chain, ultimately uh, collapsing all these trophic systems. Ultimately, that will definitely affect on humans, and again large charismatic animals living in the ocean. So that's why we are always promoting to ban primary microplastics. Even at Sri Lanka level, lots of discussions are going on, but still they take time to take a decision. But still, we should take this decision at the earliest possible, right? So in generally, in world scale, 8 million metric tons of plastic waste or waste is added to the ocean. That is a general figure from the world. So these are some plastics or some other, things and the time they take to decompose. For example, paper towel 2 to 4 weeks, banana peel 3 to 4 weeks, paper bag 1 month, newspaper 1.5 months, Apple 2 months, cardboard 2 months, cotton glove 3 months, orange peel 6 months, plywood 1 to 3 years, wool sock 1 to 5 years, milk cartoon 5 years, cigarette butts 10 to 12 years, leather shoes 40 years, tin steel can 50 years, plain plastic cups 50 years, rubber boots sold 80 years, plastic containers 80 years, aluminum can 500 years, plastic bottle 450 years, plastic bags at the end 1000, around 200,000. You can see how long it linger in the environment if you don't remove it, or while they are hanging in the environment or lingering in the environment, they are not just lingering, but they release chemicals and microplastics that again polluting. So we are in a kind of safe environment now because our ancestors or our grandparents, they have not used plastics in large quantities. But since we are using large quantities, you can understand how much pollution, or what sort of pollution we are offering to our sisters and brothers, or if not our next generation, our own our own kids, right? That's the issue. And once you add plastic into the ocean environment, they start floating. Some start afloat at the uh, mid waters, and some sink to the bottom, right? And they ultimately end up in ocean gyres. Ocean gyres are the largest ocean, uh, currents located in the larger ocean basins. Indian Ocean, Gyre, North Pacific, South Pacific, Atlantic, North Atlantic, South. Those are 5 gyres in the planet. And you can see in North Pacific Gyre, it is estimated that about 3.2 million tons of trash is settled on North Pacific Gyre. It's a huge amount of gyre plastic because that plastic, those are big piles, right? They were first discovered when the Malaysian airline 370 that missing that when it was it went missing at southern Indian Ocean region, and when it was when people try to rescue that flight, or when they try to locate that flight without finding that, but they found those huge plastic piles on the bottom. So that's the time we understood about what the fate of this plastic we are adding to the ocean. So this is you may have seen this. So because these animals they eat or engulf them or they just grab them. So these are large sperm whales. So they are filter feeders, right? When they filter feeding, they can't distinguish between plastics and others, and they eat everything. They take everything in. This is the result, and in this sperm whale died in Spanish coast. The researchers or scientists have found about 29 kilograms of rubbish before died in this rubbish in the stomach, especially as plastic bags. And this is another example from Indonesia, again an sperm whale. So the sperm whale was found in Indonesia. Its stomach contained about more than 100 plastic cups, plastic bags, 25 plastic bottles, 4 thorns, and more than 1,000 pieces of plastic. So people here in Sri Lanka, we talk about the elephants. They eat plastic in Manampiti, right? In especially in central part of the country, elephants they encroach dumping sites and eat plastic. That's the issue there. But at the same time, the same issue is happening in the ocean also, right? These are some examples internationally, but I just want to show you the impact of plastics in the ocean. Uh, and this solid waste. And because of the pollution, Sri Lanka ranked number 5 in most ocean polluters index in 2050. We are challenging these results, but these results are not correct. These are not accurate, not precise data, but still we rank number 5 in the ocean polluters index, and it's a good sign. It's a kind of eye opener for all of us. And because of this pollution, this is what happened to our resources. If resources depleted, this coral reef. After tsunami, now we have lots of dead corals instead of live coral reefs. Pollution is one of the factors for this destruction. And again, this is what happened to fish with the time. Now we are catching number of smaller fish, not bigger fish. So you can see the destruction, what happened to the environment or marine biodiversity with time because of this. And these are examples. This is yellowfin tuna. This is the tuna we are catching now, right? Small tunas. And, this really shows the resource depletion and more competition for food and insecurity of our food, availability for in the future. Therefore, in plastic pollution, especially what we see is measure is very small compared to nothing, but the real problem is still yet to be understood, mainly by general public and from you and me. And we need much more dedication, and still we need the support of others. Also, we have to convince others to use plastics in more ethical way, right? Therefore, this pollution to control pollution dilution, just putting them into the ocean is not the solution. Therefore, two main methods we can adopt corrective measures. Those are costly and time taking because corrective measures that includes the changes of mindset, and we can do preventive measures if required, attitudinal changes also. And at the moment, we are for the whole planet is mainly focusing on SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and we are mainly focusing on goal number 14, life below water, but still life on the land. 15 now again, plastic pollution is an issue. Life below water, goal number 14 again, there's an issue, and goal number 2, zero hunger. The plastic issues are there, and goal number 6, cleaner water and sanitation. Plastic problems is there. So plastic is always connected, that cross-cutting, right? And to control plastic pollution, what MIPA is doing is that we arrange coastal cleanup week or coastal cleanup day. So coastal cleanup days each third Saturday of each September. So Sri Lanka, we have expanded that into a week, third Saturday to fourth Saturday. So we arrange lots of coastal cleanup programs, maybe more than 100 programs with the participation of 7,000, 8,000 or 15,000 people, depending on the year. In 2000, Sri Lanka ranked number 9 from the participation. We had a very big participation in 2016. 17 Sri Lanka ranked number 16, and 18 Sri Lanka ranked number 13, and 2000. These are some programs for you to understand what sort of actions we take to control plastics and remove plastic from the ocean environment with lots of number of agencies. And international Sri Lanka became a member for UN Clean Seas program, to work on the global level. And again, we promote this sort of plastic pickups from the coastal belt using some volunteers or volunteer groups. So you also can do the same when you go to the beach. You can start and collect at least 10, 15 plastic pieces and bring back to home and dispose them correctly. And we always promote the less packaged items, right? Even when you buy sugar, you can take a sugar, not having sugar, packeted sugar with, you know, uh, sell in another bag. So you can buy bulk sugar in, maybe paper bag or something like that. So you can go for less plastic or less polythene lifestyle. And we always promote these sort of reusable plastic bags, reusable bags made up of various, biodegradable or textiles, so maybe cotton or something like that for your shopping. You can always say no to plastic bags, shopping bags, right? You can always say no to straws or again plastic cutleries. So you should be brave enough to say no, and again push your families and your friends to adapt such a lifestyle. And we are promoting, Sri Lanka is promoting 6R concept. Earlier it was 3R, recycle, reuse, reduce. Now Sri Lanka is promoting refuse, rethink, repair, 6R, mainly to reduce plastic usage and reduce the plastic addition to the environment. And this is a one example. If you go to a village and when they offer flowers in their shrine, so at temples, this is how they take flowers, using uh, uh, using leaf corn, and they put all the flowers in, but and again they use cane trays. But now uh, people take flowers in shopping bags to the temple, and they offer flowers in plastic trays, and even they offer plastic flowers. And this is the kind of mindset we have to understand. This is kind of unethical use of plastics, right? So we have to understand that, and you have to at least to try to establish it. Plastic is not a thing we have to totally say no. We need plastic. Plastic is a marvelous substance, but still we have to understand where we use plastics and where we use reusable or biodegradable or environmentally sustained products at the place of plastic. And that's why we are always promoting to establish ethical use of plastic. So that concept, and these are polythene, right? And still the straws, usage of straws, you use a straw for maybe maximum 1 minute, then you throw it away, right? So if you think that okay, this only one straw, but if the same mindset is we all, if you have the same mindset per day, we as planet we produce 8 billion, because we have 8 billion, now we have about 9 billion. So if you think that okay, this is only one, if you have such a very light mindset, so means we normally promote pollution instead of controlling it. Yeah, we have to be really responsible. We have to really understand the issue. We have to really understand our commitment and our proper act is needed. And for example, this one. So when you drink Milo, even the same other milk packet. So we release three pieces of plastics, right? The packet, and again the straw, and again the small, the tiny plastic or polythene container that contain the straw. Three. But when you consume about bottle of water, we release about five pieces. Starting from the seal, then lid, the ring three, and bottle itself four, and the label five. You understand that you not only that, when you drink water from the water bottle, after most of the people, they drink half and leave the rest. So nobody will use it, nobody will drink it, just we throw it away. So think about the carbon emission, uh, and the energy used to purify that water, and how much energies we just waste, and how much we contribute to the climate change and other those things. If we still promote, we still stuck to those behaviors. And now we are promoting no plastic bottles in government meetings and no milk packets given in government events. So our agency is now doing that, and we are promoting the same to other private sector agencies also. Lots of high-end hotels, they are not serving plastic bottles. Instead, they serve glass bottles for water. And those at household level also, you can just say no plastic bottles. You can have your own bottle when you travel. And if you need a water, you can always have a glass bottle or some reusable bottle instead of normal plastic bottles. And this is what we are doing at the moment. Is we have totally stopped using plastic decorations. These are live plants. Even you are at household level, you can always replace plastic flowers and plastic pots with this sort of live plants. So very simple thing, but that works. And single-use plastic we had banned. We are promoting in Sri Lanka. We are promoting it, and these sort of beach parks we established to make beaches clean of plastic. No plastic in these beaches, and we pay the families. They maintain these beaches, and we promote uh, green environment, especially in the place of polluted environment. So we clean polluted areas, and convert these polluted areas as small uh, river park or small beach park. We promote, and these from I think Nigambo. Yes, Nigambo. This is Jungle Beach and Pesale Kiri. This is how we keep our beaches. So in your areas, if your beaches are clean, don't think that it happens naturally. It keep clean because somebody's cleaning in the morning, right? If you don't clean it, and if you let it be like that untouched, so whole the beach will populated with plastic in couple of hours or days time. So that's the scale of the pollution at present, and these are the strainers uh, just to stop plastic being added to the ocean. And we have established nice trainers in Colombo now. End of maybe this year, we plan to add 10 more trainers. I don't have pictures here, but I have pictures, but I don't have a picture in this presentation. But these are the machines to keep beaches clean. And again, coastal bed tree planting, we always promote. Through planting, we make mainly increase the awareness about the whole issue. That's why we do that, and convert all the coastal areas or coastal roads shady and very greeny roads, instead of having uh, very uh, open, and there's without any trees. But this is what we are planning, promoting, and we promote research to reduce plastics, and change the mindset, find the alternative waste of plastics, and lots of research going on. And we commemorate Environment Day June 5th and June 7th. 8th is World Ocean Day, just to give you awareness and arrange activities and take more volunteers into this. So main task of this whole program is to give them awareness about the pollution and try to uh, you know um, make them aware about their contribution and try to take them on board to become plastic free person or less plastic person or person who is producing very minimal amount of plastic waste to their lifestyle. So that's what we are doing. So I think through these lectures and again maybe through your questions, the same we can do. You can become a plastic free person, or you can do whatever you can do to reduce your plastic production, because you also as person you are responsible to release 0.5 kilogram of plastic per day. Therefore, think about that and join this campaign, reduction campaigns, and try to change this trend or stop this trend and reverse the trend back to the more environmental friendly and more environmentally sustainable solutions. That's all from me as a presentation for you to give you show you some part or put you in the perspective. And now when you open the floor for any sort of questions, then I'll try to answer whatever the questions you are having. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the great explanation, sir. Before moving to the Q&A session, let me briefly tell you about the American corner Matara. The American spaces of Sri Lanka are a place for discovery, collaboration, and connection. They are functioning as resources centers to the public and more especially for the youth. American spaces are partnering with the US Embassy, American and local organizations to host innovative programs that are free and open to public, such as English and ICT training courses, interactive panel discussions, film screenings, workshops, exhibits, and virtual conference programs with the focus of empowering livelihood. So, American Corner Matara is contributed their valuable time to conducting this webinar series. So, with that, we are moving to the Q&A session for today. So, I warmly welcome all of you to ask any question on today's discussion.
Hi, Dr. Pradeep.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm Amila from Biagama. So I am attached to glove manufacturing industry. So now these days we have initiatives in making our products in biodegradable. So yeah, so my question is, we have done some trials and some products are already in the the launching level. So my concern is when we are making biodegradable, whether it's completely going into the biodegradation or is it going to disintegration into micro levels? I mean, say microplastic levels. So initially, what we are measuring is we are measuring weight loss and some other parameters. So actually, what I need to clarify is what is going to in the degradation process, whether it is complete degradation or disintegration into small pieces.
Yeah, actually, earlier also there were some products came as oxo biodegradable. So biodegradable is completely converting into a soil or whatever the organic compounds it totally convert into organic compounds without the plastic breaking into small pieces, right? But in biodegradation, what I learned is that in biodegradation, plastic break into small pieces, but those small plastic pieces are in the soil and in the environment as microplastic level, right? So that is not accurate. That's not what we need, because those in the biodegradation, what is happening is that we hide the problem, and we dissolve it into the soil and into the environment, right? Therefore, if somebody wants to develop biodegradable products, I really expect that it should be 100% compostable, or converting into compost, something like that. Therefore, when you market it, it's again when you even market it, you have to mention that to which level you are developing it, converting completely into compostable items, or you are trying to break it, the plastic break into small pieces, and small pieces again lingering in the environment. So the second one, you break into smaller pieces, is much more dangerous
than the large pieces, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, you can't even collect it physically.
Yeah, definitely. So that is what if you really want to promote biodegradation, definitely it's a really welcoming option, and definitely it should be 100% biodegradable, or 100% converting into something of composting or something like organic substances.
Yes, thank you.
If you have any questions, you can use the chat box also. So I am reminding you.
So what I really want from all of you is to understand the gravity of this issue, and act promptly. You can adapt these the options I mentioned you at your personal level, at your family level, or at your organization level. So, for example, for this American Center, you can convert all your meetings as plastic-free meetings. So no plastic bottles are served, or no any straws, or no any plastic cutleries are served. Or if not, you can declare that all of your members, they use their own bottles, or they have their own the steel or whatever, or natural straws and cutleries with them, and at the household level, you use your own reusable bags for shopping, and you never accept shopping bags for when you buy things, and you always bring your own bags with you, and you use recyclable products, and you always rethink about what you can do, and you always work to aware the people. Those things you can adopt at your organization level, and maybe you can make a pledge among you, say that okay, I am trying to reduce my plastic waste production by 50% or 100% within next couple of months time. So those kind of things you can do at your membership level. So if you can do that, and if you can adapt the same in your family, or maybe in your school, or at your institute level, we can do big change. So I have a what are the laws and under laws? CE recently banned 5 plastic items. It means uh, plastic bag, shopping bags, HTPL, high density polyethylene plastic. They banned foamed food for lunch. They banned lunch sheets, and CEA banned foamed food containers, and they banned burning of plastics at public open areas. Still, you know, people are burning it in public areas. You may have seen that. And usage of plastics and polythene in decoration, all decorations is illegal. All those five are illegal in Sri Lanka. So still, you know, people and those used still people are using those methods, uh, and that is one thing. And from government level, local governments, for example, provincial councils, and again uh, uh, city and town councils, and though they have their own regulations available to control plastics. And again, MIPA, uh, under Marine Environment Protection Act, there are some provisions to control plastic. National Environment Act provides some provisions to control plastics. For example, polluter pay principle law, polluter response, EP, extend producer responsibility, and those provisions are there. And again, under penal code, you can find some uh, uh, provisions are there. Lots of legal tools are available, and what we really need is the proper usage of these legal tools, and again from the general public to proper understand, and general public, their fullest commitment is needed. Without that commitment, uh, you can't do anything, uh, that is really lacking from the general public. So for example, at present we are fighting with coastal and marine mask issue. Number of masks are now, not numbers, high numbers of masks now, end up in coastal waters. And maybe just as soon as the COVID is announced, and maybe last March, soon as the COVID is announced, and when the government bodies, they requested people to wear mask for that. MIPA, we requested in general, from the general public, dispose them in properly and in proper manner, but people did not consider that. And now our coastal waste is now comprised with number of those face masks. And I have seen people, they drop their own masks, and they are not, they are not prepared to even collect their own mask, right? So this is the thing we have to change, and how to dispose them in proper way. And so that sort of commitment is needed, and that sort of understanding is needed. We need people who really love the environment and love the country. Therefore, those issues are there. So if you can understand, make them understand, at least the younger generation, if you can adapt these things, I think I will be able to solve this problem for some extent, and again uh, make the country cleaner place. But lots of regulations are available, as you according to your question. Lots of tools are available, but much need what is needed is to proper implementation of these rules, and again commitment from the general public.
Thank you very much, sir. There is a question from FB audience. How about having price for shopping bags?
Sorry.
How about having price for shopping bags?
Yes, that's what I am saying. If you you can normally shopping bags are, they are out of the counter, right? So as soon as you put those shopping bags within the counter and make it as a selling commodity, you can put a price there. If you want a bag, pay it and buy it. But even you can put a higher price there. For example, if that cost about 20 cents for a shopping bag, you can make it as 10 rupees, right? The rest, the income goes to the environmental, maybe as a tax for the government to, use in environmental protection issues, right? And if you need some commodities, if you want to buy something, bring your own bag, right? So still there is one government, the court uh, 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 issue there, and verdict has been given, I think, from my understanding, what happened was that our government officers, they have misinterpreted the verdict given, and that is why they are giving out free bags. But if we interpret the verdict in according to our way, according to the environment friendly way, we can still sell shopping bags or whatever the bags, but with high price, and the excess income coming from these bags we can easily put into a environment fund or something like that. So that's a better option to keep those as a convert this shopping bag as a the selling commodity.
Sir, there is another question. What are the solutions for plastic pollution in harbour areas in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, harbor pollution is one of the again the bigger issue, especially the mindset is needed from the fishermen, and again the harbors comes under Sri Lanka Fishery Harbor Corporation. Uh, Sri Lanka Fishery Harbor Corporation, they have their harbor managers and jetty managers and all are there, but they are not doing their job properly because harbor is a government premise. So if, for example, if you go to a harbor, fisheries harbor, you can do anything. You can go in a short, you can go in a sarong, and you can have you can park your own car there. And if you want to do some drying fish, you can dry fish. You can establish a dry fishing area in the harbor premises. And if you want to repair your boat, you can do it there. You pay maybe 50 rupees per day for the harbor. So it's a government premise. You have to maintain the harbor as a government premise. So you have to apply all the rules and regulations there, right? So therefore, the harbor pollution is one of the biggest issue. The first thing is that we have to implement government regulations and rules properly in the harbor. Make it as a well managed or well maintained government institute. On the other hand, the harbor users, for example, fishermen and other the other ancillary supporting people, they should uh, act responsibly, reducing all the plastic pollution there.
Thank you, sir. Sir, there is another question. How much it is adversely affect burning plastic at home garden, and how it is important to acknowledge people on this?
Acknowledge.
People on this.
Yeah, burning plastic is really health threatening. It emits furans and other toxic gases, and they end up ultimately they are taken by the winds, and the whole area become polluted, and even the air become polluted. That may cause, once you inhale them, very severe impact on your uh, your defensive systems, and again your health conditions, asthma conditions. Therefore, burning plastic in open areas really uh, hazardous and dangerous. And you start, soon as you smelling it, you have to understand that you are taking toxic gases, and that is really impacting you. So therefore, so it's not there with the maximum effect. We have to stop it, but still, people also should understand the impact of it, and at least to hand them over to the collectors and send them properly to the collecting site. But issue is that at the collecting sites and even the government dump yards, we don't have enough facilities, and even the facilities are enough, there are some lots of issues are there. So we should have a kind of managed system to complete the whole plastic waste cycle, from the plastic collection to the recyclers, and from and make use those waste plastic in as a plastic as a source for another product, right? Then you can take it and convert into a circular economy, and those kind of things has to be done. But from the government side also, I think we need a bit much more dedication for that, and we understand the whole system, and should have a holistic approach. So that approach is, again, from my understanding, missing for some extent. Lots of links are there, but they are not connected. So that connection is needed. For that, government also have a bigger role there.
Sir, there is another question. Few days ago, the idea about collecting pens within school premises was highlighted. Since university is almost filled with large population, intake of pens is so high. Can't we just do something for this?
You mean pencils?
No, sir, pens.
Yeah,
Collecting pens.
yeah, that's a good initiative with it, because even tiny thing matters. You know, what if you can uh, uh, reuse the the pen case and replace the already finished the ink the part and replace it with a new one. That small things you can do, right? That's what I expect from individuals. And at the university level, you can make it as a law or regulation. And for individually, you can always think of that. Okay, without buying a whole pen, you can buy the the center part and replace it. And On the other hand, those parts should be make available at the market, right? Those things you have to think about, and if you can do that, you can contribute. So smaller thing, whatever thing you can do, definitely you have to do.
So there's a comment. The Consumer Affairs Authority has issued an order prohibiting the teachers to levy any charge from the customers, so that it is not possible to levy charge till the said order is revised. The order number 26, published in 2008 under the Consumer Affairs Authority Act.
This Consumer Authority has issued an order prohibiting teachers leave any, any charge from the customers. Yeah. So here the issue is that uh, most of the legal provisions available regarding the plastic and those the pollution is very much new, and lots of amendments are needed, right? So in Sri Lanka, to amend the act or whatever, or amend a regulation, it takes hell of a time, right? So therefore uh, uh, there should be again a system to make those amendments bit expedited. At the same time, Consumer Affairs Authority, I think they are doing a very good job, protecting the rights of the consumers. But now when they protect the right of the consumers, definitely they have to think about the environment. So they have to push or promote those industries to become more environmental friendly, and when they take some actions, those actions should be more environmentally friendly. The customer affairs authority also can promote those products through their legal tools available.
So are there any questions?
Yeah, I got the question. So the regarding COVID face mask, to be honest, from Sri Lanka level, there's no any data available. We are trying to collect those statistics, but in the world level, it is said that in 2019 about 1.5 billion uh, face masks has already been added to the ocean in 2020, right? And the weight of that face mask is about 5 to 6 tons. And at the same time, if you lay this face mask along a coast, it is the rate is about 70 face mask per 100 meters of beach stretch, right? So that's the estimation we received from the world scale, global scale. But Sri Lanka, we try to do that. We try to understand our situation, but we have found some lots of face masks on the beach. We have collected them, But when we do a survey with people, some people we found that they change their mask daily, right? Daily they change their mask, and some even the whole family. It means per family they need about 25. If the family is with five people, they need 25 masks per week, right? 5 into 5, 5 into 5. And some people they use their mask once a month, right? And some use mask. Some have never changed the mask for last couple of months time. So lots of very deviated answers we got. Therefore, we couldn't really come to a a good realistic estimation. But there's a situation. But Yeah, but world scale we have statistics, but at local level still we don't have any statistics regarding the face mask and their usage or their production or their accumulation in coastal or even in the environment. There's no up to now there's no such estimation is available.
So there's another question. Food packaging causes a considerable amount of plastic to be disposed to the environment. Are there any initiatives to fight the highly impacting food packaging categories and reduce them within SL or Asia?
Yeah, two things. One thing is that there's a food packaging, societies there. So they always meet and they have annual congress also happening at BMICH. So they always looking for more effective food packaging and how to develop packaging industry into more environmental sustainable way, and again promote recyclers of these food packaging. And on the other hand, there are a number of new agencies have set up in the country, and they really recycle all these food packages, right? But the issue is that they are not receiving enough amounts of waste. Waste means the used food packages they are not receiving. Therefore, maybe a big supermarket, so whatever the system, those bigger, the delivery systems, or they already have established bigger companies, they should have some sort of way to at least to collect their food wrappers and send them to those the recyclers, right? So if you can establish that, I think we can at least find a solution. But I know for sure, even for the those milk cartoons, and again three layered, for example, Munchio, lemon puff packaging. So there are now recyclers there how to properly recycle them. But the issue is that there's no system to to collect those packages separately and send them to the recycler. That system is missing. Therefore, they are not running with their full swing, but they are running under capacity. So that if somebody can, if not somebody, it's the government, or if not this packaging industry, or especially the polluting companies, they should get together and establish a system in which they should make sure that those used packages are again sent back to the recyclers.
So are there any questions?
Yeah, alternatives are available. For example, straws are also alternatives available, but not in large quantities. You have to order them online, and for your own cutleries, all the girls, especially they use their lipsticks and everything in their bags. But say likewise, you can have your own cutleries, so maybe straws in one single packet and keep in your bags. And when you travel, you can always keep them with you and use it. And those sort of alternatives available. For example, uh, as a grocery bags, you can buy them from markets, reusable bags, so you can prepare your own bags using your uh, uh, unused clothes, or maybe you can buy some cane products, and those sort of things are now available in the market. And if you really know the problem, and if you look into the options, definitely you will find lots of alternatives available. And what you need is to select and buy. So those things are available. Those alternatives are available in the market.
So are there any more questions? So it actually looks like there are no more questions for today. So thank you very much, sir. So we are concluding our session today. I would like to give my heartiest gratitude to Dr. Terney Pradeep Kumara for contributing to this valuable discussion on plastic pollution in Sri Lanka, and giving your valuable time for this. And then I would like to thank for the organizing committee of the EarthMates at the American corner Matara, and to all the participants who joined us with today. So we hope to come up with similar webinars in the future, and I would like to invite all of you to stay tuned with EarthMates Foundation, and thank you.